Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to touch base with everybody. I'm going for a walkie with one of my doggos, Tyson. Hey, Tyson. Just going for a little walk with one of my doggos today. After the Ice Cube concert, it was absolutely awesome. Ice Cube concert was fabulous. Like instead of choosing like the first row, we chose I think it was row 5 or 7, because it had a T-shaped stage, and I've been totally burned by T-shaped stages before, where actually, you're in the front row and they come and they do their show right at the head of the T for almost the whole thing, and then you're basically stuck there, like burned, watching the back of their head when you're in the first row. So we actually, because it was a T-shaped stage, we actually got row 5 or 7, and it worked out just like I thought. All the people in like the first like what was it, all the rows before us, were not enjoying it. They were looking at the back of Ice Cube's head, or at the very best, if they're like row 4 or 5, like kind of like the side of his face. He stood like right at the T, basically like rapping down at me like I was like it was a personal show, like almost like the Commodore, but even closer and better. It was absolutely fabulous. And Cube just fucking, at his age, kudos to him. He puts on a performance. My God, it was fucking entertaining. I loved it, man. I threw up a joint on stage. I threw up a couple of them, right, in a backwoods pack for him. He picked up my joint. Lots of people threw up joints, but mine was a big fatty. So, the stage, people weren't going to see a little pinner that, we're coming up on stage that people were throwing, but I threw up a big fatty, and he grabbed it and looked down at me, gave me like a thumbs up or something. It was fucking awesome, man. But I brought my pen and a whole bunch of joints. I gave out so many joints at that concert for free. Everybody obviously above 19, right? And pot's federally legal in Canada, so no laws broken or anything. But yeah, like I said, he fucking knows how to perform, and at his age, it was just fucking such a banger, man. Like, we've seen so many concerts and so many people come to town in Vancouver. Like the weekend, the weekend had such a high production value, and all these dancers, and the tickets were so much more expensive. But to be honest, like, he showed up hung over. Like, it was the worst concert ever because he was so hung over. Like, he didn't want to be there. You could tell he didn't go long. He went short. It was just brutal, right? As opposed to Ice Cube, who went long, and he really loves Vancouver. So like, yeah, he did an excellent show. So shout out to Ice Cube. It was fucking fabulous. I'm definitely gonna see him again. So Cube, you put on a fucking banger show. Love you, brother. Love you. That was very, very, very entertaining. Horrible thing about it, why I haven't posted since the concert or gone live or anything, is I got a phone call like right as the concert was ending, and my son's biological mother actually passed away, right? So I didn't even know like what to say, how to go from there. I haven't told my kid yet. He's not on social media, so he's not going to see this and find out this way. I got to tell him and figure out how we're going to do it, because the funeral has to be planned, right? And even though I was separated from her, I think I'm her next of kin, which is really weird because police haven't reached out to me or anything like that to notify me or anything. It was actually, her grandma reaching out to my ma, who called me, right? That's why I haven't really been online and posted all that much. Just haven't been in the mood to do it. But I have been working behind the scenes on, the Zoomies adoption website and everything that goes into that, as well as live, because I think that's a really good idea to bring live streamed events in person, streamed on Pump.fun. I think it would make polished, solid content that people would actually switch over from Rumble, Kick, those type of platforms, YouTube. Right now, it's like akin to a really, really bad baseball or football game that you have to watch because you have a little bit of money on it. That's exactly what it is right now. And that's not sustainable at all. And the only people that it's attracting are like degenerate gamblers, which is okay, but it's not going to grow. Right? Not like this. The content has to be polished, and people have to come over and watch the content because they actually enjoy it. That's the winning combo right there, right? So anyway, I'm gonna try to hit that and jump in and tie into that algorithm, because I know what good content is. I know what I'd want to watch, and it's nothing on Pump.fun right now. So like, and I love Alon. I love what they built, but the live streaming, side of it is so not there. It's not a flywheel. It's not anything sustainable. It's terrible content. It's drizzle. And even worse than that is like, it seems like the only stuff that's promoted there are scams, rugs, and like, I don't know if it's all like people's friends or people with a small trading group that brings them over to Pump.fun, and then, they pump a coin and it literally gets the worst content promoted by the algorithm, right? It's like, it's crazy. It's just, it's a recipe for failure, right? So anyway, I just wanted to touch base with y'all. I'll give you a shot. This is the cemetery where my grandpa's buried in, man. He fought in World War II. He was a belly gunner in World War II, and out of like 22 planes or something like that, only 2 came back, and his was one of them. So cheers, shout out to you, Grandpa, up in heaven. I come down here and I clean his tombstone quite often. I don't bring flowers because that's just not how I roll, but I do clean up tombstones, and I pick up flowers that are knocked over around other people's graves. And if there's a really particularly horrible grave and I got like some cleaning supplies there, I'll just tidy that one up too, right? Can't hurt, right? And a lot of these people right there that are buried in here, they're veterans, right? A lot of these people are veterans, and they fought in the war, and they get a free plot, right? Because they fought in the war, and they should. So I like coming through here. It's a beautiful cemetery, a beautiful spot. A lot of people walk their dogs here. It's public, just fucking gorgeous, right? And like I said, I like to come and pay my respects to my grandpa, and tidy up his headstone and other people's if they're in terrible shape. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. This video is getting a little bit long anyway. It's edging on like 8 minutes now. So I'm going to do a few shorts throughout the day, and I'm going to keep working on both these 2 projects. I'm not launching any other projects. These are going to be the 2 that I believe have any sort of hope, and they resonate with me. One, Zoomies Adoption, because it's non-profit, it's helping animals, it's doing good. So I think that has longevity, and I don't really care if the coin does good or not. That project I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna help save animals regardless, and I'm gonna be bringing the content to my socials and shit like that, whether it does well on Pump. Like if Pump dies out, I'm still going to keep saving animals, and I'm still going to put the content up on socials, right? So this is going forward with Pump or not. I would love Pump to support something like this. And then also like a profit, I have one profit project, and that's live, all right, which is streaming in-person live events. I'm going to do some clipping myself on the Pump concert, because there's some wild content, and nobody wants to probably go watch like 3-4 hours when it's not live on socials or on Pump to rewatch it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my own clipping, because I can edit and clip and do all that shit myself. I'm a one-man team, and if people want to help on the nonprofit and the and help me on that side, I'm certainly open to that. And then if live takes off and gains attraction, I'm certainly open to taking resumes for people working, right? I love to support the space and other people, right? So I will be dropping updates throughout the day, and so I think that live is a great way to actually get good content on Pump, right? Forget bringing like a shitty little trading group to come and scam people and rug people. Forget these disabled devs that are rugging. Forget the grannies that are rugging. Like, fuck that shit. You guys are just throwing your money away. And if you put your money, like, yes, you throw your money on a real project, and a real project might not pump and give you 2x overnight, right? I understand that, and that's why people, like, even if they do invest, they pull their money out and they go and give it to a scammer because they think it's going to double overnight. But what happens is they just lose it, right? They don't double their money. The real projects are slow cooks. Why? Because they're not scams. Why? Because it's organic. Why? Because people aren't pumping the charts, right? So those are actually like what you want to invest in, right? Like solid ideas, solid community, solid devs that are there day after day working. If you invest in that type of shit, you're going to be so better off. It takes away like the gambling aspect of it, which most of y'all are doing. And if you're, gambling every day and, you're gambling on every pump shitter, you're probably a degenerate gambler, and you probably should seek some help, because degenerate gamblers, they will gamble until they lose, right? Even if they hit it big, they can hit it big and get like a $10 million payout, and they won't leave the casino with that 10 million. They will sit down and they will give every fucking dime of that 10 million back to the casino. And then on top of that, they'll go and take out a loan and sell their shit. And so degenerate gamblers, like if you're finding yourself in that sort of loop, you need to do something, because psychologically you're probably like addicted to losing. And I know that's fucked up to say, because who could be addicted to that miserable feeling? But it happens. Don't ask me why. I'm not a psychologist, right? I got a good head on my shoulders, but I'm not a shrink, so I can't tell you exactly why so many degenerate gamblers actually almost enjoy losing, and they will just sit there and gamble until they lose. Even if they hit it big, they're never leaving that casino to change their life, right? And I see that pattern so much here in crypto. And if that's you, you need to change something, because you ain't gonna lose, you ain't gonna win. You will lose, and you'll just keep giving your money away, right? So you need to sit down and drastically look yourself in the mirror and change everything. Go get some fucking help from a Gamblers Anonymous, whatever, man. I know you think that, oh, it's crypto, I'm not gambling. You're fucking gambling, bro. And if it's hurting your life, and if you're taking money out of rent and shit that it shouldn't be taken out of, right? Then you have a fucking huge problem, and you need to address it before shit gets really, really bad, right? And you just get straight cooked. So you have to also understand, right? A lot of these people that are throwing down huge money on degenerate gambles, a lot of these people are scammers and ruggers and, KOLs, and they got their fucking money for free. So it's who cares? They'll wipe their ass with it. They'll throw it at it's like somebody who has $1 billion. It ain't shit to them to go to the table and throw down $1 million on a bet. And then you go to that same table and think, throwing down $1 million, you're in the same category as that person because your bet's the same. It's not, man. That's pocket change to some people. And to you, it's rent and whatever. So change that shit immediately, because you ain't gonna win like that. The only way you're gonna win is if it's extra money and you don't have to panic sell. Honestly, that's the only way you're gonna win, right? When it drops fucking 70-80% and that's your rent money, you're well, I better recoup at least a fifth so I can go to a hotel for a week. The other dudes aren't doing that. They don't give a fuck. They're wiping their ass. It's free money. It's rug money. It's this. It's that. They got such a high enough income. You are not in the same boat as them. Do not pretend you are. Even if your bet is the same at the same table, you are not in the same category. So you need to change that immediately, or you're going to lose over and over and over. All right, I'm going to come throughout the day and give you more updates. This one's going to have to go on YouTube because it's super long. So I'll condense this and some updates for TikTok and shit like that. All right, guys. Love ya.